Our first Alumni Excellence Award recipient is Mading Noor, a graduate of our Bachelor of Arts in Professional Communication program, and an excellent example of an outstanding person bringing meaningful and positive change to the world. Mading encountered extraordinary circumstances as a child of war in Sudan. He is today a leader, an important voice in the media landscape of a nation in the making. The depth and daring of Mading's commitment to ensuring a strong democratic government and a free media in his homeland country of South Sudan is compelling. I am pleased to introduce Mading Noor.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Peter Mickelson and the Board of Governors, President Alan Kaun, distinguished guests, graduates of 2012, congratulations. I come from a long way in a village in South Sudan. For a long time, I was working in the dock. I was uncertain about my future. There's an African saying that says, "The night may be long, but the day will certainly come." And the day has come for me, and I'm honored, humbled that I am the winner of the inaugural Alumni Excellence Award. I am humbled and honored because there is nothing in my background that suggests that I was destined for such an award and to do so in Canada. Let me tell you this. When then Senator Barack Obama was running for the American presidency in 2008, he said that there was the world as it is and the world as it should be. The future president said he was running in the race because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now, that he believed there was such a thing as being too late, and that hour was upon America. I want to share with you my world as it was, as it is, and as it should be. I was born into a cattle-rearing family in rural South Sudan. I grew up herding cattle and enjoyed fishing with my friends at a tributary of the White Nile. I have fond memories of my formative years, including once sprinting after a gazelle with my dog, which eventually caught the animal. Then life changed irretrievably in 1991 when my village was obliterated in the war by allies of the Sudanese regime who callously carried out a massacre, killing hundreds. I'll never be able to erase from my memory such a traumatizing experience, even as an 8-year-old boy then. This was my Holocaust. It was my September 11. Wherever I went, I saw a haunting sight of a dead person, a dead cow, a dead person, a dead cow. In the midst of flying bullets and in an attempt to escape the horror, I took to the bush barefoot with my mother and 2 of my siblings. There was ubiquitous, deafening sound of gunshots all over the place. The enemy's ear was sharper than the hunters. Babies were liabilities. Many were abandoned by their mothers or placed in their own separate hideouts, such that when they cried and the enemy shot at them, they would meet their own singular fate. 1991, so bright in my memory. A relative and a childhood best friend of mine was killed after their dog barked and the enemy released a deadly shot at the bush he was hiding in. Deep inside the jungle, while darting live bullets, I was stung multiple times in the head by bees. I wanted to cry out so loud, but it would have been a huge betrayal to my mother, to my siblings, and those who were hiding around us. So I cried inside, and that is why I remember to this day what a vicious massacre it was. The world as it was for me was a nightmare. It was a world where the difference between the dead and the living was sheer luck, and where death was a nagging companion. To survive, we fed on wild fruits for days. I remember a past full of thorns and terror, a merciless past where I was constantly on the run, a past that I repudiate, I reject thousands and thousands of times, and a past I am determined to leave behind, not to go to. I don't want my children to go through the same past again. That brings me to the world as it is. In 2010, after I graduated from Royal Roads, I decided to head back to South Sudan to witness the birth of the new nation and help shape its future. It's strange because I love this country, Canada. It has helped me. It has given me the tools. When I came in 2001, I was a refugee boy. I only had my bundle of belongings. I spoke heavily accented English, and I didn't know how I was going to get back to Africa and be able to help my mom, who was left in a refugee camp. And my mom used to support me. I used to give her a call, and she would tell me, go to school. Become someone in the future. Don't worry about us, because when you were with us, we were not dead. I went back to South Sudan as a journalist, as a radio journalist. After seeing my uncle leave for the battlefield with his AK-47, I'm trying to answer why. Why did I have to leave Victoria? I think it's the most beautiful place on earth, and when I came back, I just went to the harbor and enjoyed the freedom the people of Canada enjoy. And the reason I went back, I want my country to be strong and free, like Canada. And my going to South Sudan is not a rejection of Canada. It is appreciating what Canada has done so that I can go back and contribute. Here is the most destroyed country in the world since World War, becoming free, becoming a nation. And who was to do it? After I saw my uncle leave for the battlefield with his AK-47 for the last time, after losing my dad and my dear relatives who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the liberation of the Republic of South Sudan, I was never going to be creative about which path I should take. It was charted out for me in a trail of blood. I want freedom of speech in my country. I want prosperity for my village and country. That is why I woke up. My show is called Wake Up Juba. It's a morning show. That's why I woke up every morning and I shouted, wake up Juba. Wake up to the injustices around you. Wake up from sleep, because this baby nation needs to be built. Horiya, there is shakal. Freedom needs work. As you go into the world, you're making the decision I was making. I was graduating in 2010, and I was asking myself, what's next for me? Ask yourself about your world as it is and your world as it should be. Because I don't think you're satisfied. You would have been staying in your home if you were satisfied. And imagine that you were the late Jack Layton. He found the NDP party down to 2 or 1 MP. And he had to ask himself, do I settle, do I quit, or do I press on and on? And up to now, the NDP forms the opposition. That's amazing. That is amazing achievement and I respect Jack Layton. When he passed on, I was in South Sudan, and I cried. I remember great people. It's not that I would vote for NDP. I'm not. How should your world be? I cannot answer it for you. Thank you very much.